SUVs are supposed to be the perfect combo of space, power, and reliability, but these 27 totally missed the memo. Today, we're exposing 27 of the worst SUVs on the market, according to Consumer Reports. From busted suspensions to glitchy electronics and engines that age like milk, these models have frustrated drivers and earned a reputation no automaker wants. If you're thinking about buying an SUV, watch this first. Let's get into the ones nobody wants. Number 1, Mitsubishi Outlander Sport 2021. The SUV that somehow screams midlife crisis without even trying. Launched with a whimper in 2021. It limped through just over 33,000 US sales, mostly to rental fleets and people who gave up halfway through their car search. Consumer Reports didn't just ignore it. They practically put up a wanted poster warning buyers to steer clear. Powered by a wheezy 148 horsepower engine with all the excitement of a leaf blower, it struggles with weak torque, a clunky CVT, and tech that feels like it came out of a 2009 clearance bin. Interior materials, pure discount bin plastic. Reliability, let's just say $650 a year, and maintenance buys you endless rattles and the thrill of unexpected repairs. The Outlander Sport tried to punch above its weight and ended up punching itself in the face. Number 2, Volkswagen Taos 2024. The compact SUV that tries so hard to be German engineering but ends up more like German engineering's awkward cousin. Rolling into 2024 with modest fanfare, it sold around 40,000 units in the US, mostly to those who confused practical with boring. Consumer Reports quickly slapped it on the worst that no one buys list, proving that flashy badging can't cover up a lackluster drive. Under the hood, you get a 158 HP turbo engine that's about as thrilling as watching paint dry, paired with a CVT that loves to drone on and on. Reliability issues pop up faster than you can say check engine, while the interior feels like a Volkswagen showroom clearance sale from 2010. Maintenance costs hover near $600 annually, with repairs that can sting your wallet and your patience. The Taos aims for sophistication and misses badly. Number 3, Subaru Ascent 2021. The family-friendly SUV. That's more like a mechanical headache wrapped in a minivan's disguise. It hit the US roads in 2021, selling around 35,000 units, mostly to parents who needed 7 seats and didn't want to deal with a full-size SUV. Consumer Reports, however, didn't RSVP to the party, quickly labeling it as one of the worst no one wants to buy. Underneath the hood, a 260 HP Boxer engine tries to hustle, but it's weighed down by a CVT that sounds like a vacuum cleaner on steroids. Reliability? Think unexpected oil leaks, faulty sensors, and a reputation for pricey repairs hovering near $700 a year. The interior? A confusing mix of outdated tech and cheap plastics that clash harder than your family on road trips. The Ascent promises adventure but delivers frustration, the SUV version of a disappointing potluck. Number 4, Volkswagen Atlas 2021. The oversized family hauler that promises space but delivers headaches by the bucket. Selling around 50,000 units in 2021, mostly to those who prioritize legroom over reliability, it quickly earned its spot on Consumer Reports' worst that no one buys list. Under the hood, a sluggish 235 HP V6 tries to motivate this beast, but the transmission's jerky shifts feel like punishment. Reliability? Think early engine troubles, electrical glitches, and suspension failures that'll drain your wallet fast. Expect around $700 a year just to keep it rolling. Inside, bargain bin plastics and a clunky infotainment system remind you where your money really went. The Atlas wanted to be the family champ, but ended up the automotive equivalent of an embarrassing Thanksgiving dinner story. Number 5, Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid 2024. The fancy eco-friendly ride that tries to be green but still screams, "I'm compensating for something." It managed to sell about 25,000 units in the United States last year, mostly to folks who want to look responsible without actually giving up their caffeine habit. Under the hood, the combined 400 HP powertrain sounds impressive until you realize the battery range is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Reliability issues pop up with the complex hybrid system, and maintenance costs hover near $900 a year because high tech means high bills. Inside, The minimalist interior sometimes feels more like a Scandinavian furniture store than a car. The XC60 PHEV tries to save the planet but ends up costing you instead. Number 6, Ford Escape Hybrid 2024, the eco-friendly crossover that tries to juggle fuel savings and style but mostly just trips over its own ambitions. It moved about 45,000 units in the United States, mostly to drivers who want to save gas but don't want to give up Bluetooth. Consumer Reports wasn't fooled, slapping it on the worst that no one buys list faster than you can say battery issues. Powered by a 200 HP hybrid system that's about as thrilling as watching your phone charge. It suffers from transmission glitches and a CVT that drones like an annoying office fan. Reliability? Think costly repairs and tech hiccups that can easily push your maintenance bills to around $700 a year. Inside, the design feels like a copy-paste job from last decade, with cheap plastics that scream budget. The Escape Hybrid aimed for green but landed in the red hard. Number 7, Jeep Compass 2021, the wannabe off-roader that's about as rugged as a soggy paper towel. It managed to scrape together around 40,000 United Street 8 sales in 2021, mostly from buyers who wanted Jeep branding without the hassle of real adventure. Under the hood, a meek 180 HP engine struggles with torque that's as lazy as a Sunday morning. The CVT transmission adds to the misery with annoying drone and delayed shifts. Reliability issues? Oh, plenty premature transmission failures, electrical glitches, and suspension problems that'll drain your wallet faster than gas at a tailgate party. Maintenance costs hover near $650 annually, with interior materials that feel like a clearance rack reject. The Compass tries to be tough, but ends up the punchline of Jeep's lineup. Number 8, Jeep Grand Cherokee L 2024, the 3-row SUV that's supposed to be the king of the off-road castle, but often feels more like a jester. It sold around 30,000 units in 2024, mostly to buyers wanting space and style, until reliability issues knocked on their door. Under the hood, you get a 293 HP V6. That's decent, but bogged down by a transmission that's about as smooth as a gravel road. Reliability? Let's just say early electrical gremlins, faulty sensors, and costly suspension repairs keep mechanics employed and owners frustrated. Maintenance easily hits $700 a year, thanks to pricey parts and frequent visits to the shop. The interior tries to impress, but sometimes feels like luxury took a day off. The Grand Cherokee L aims for glory, but stumbles straight into regret. Number 9, Volvo XC90 2021. The luxury SUV that wants to whisper safety first, but ends up shouting expensive repairs ahead. It sold around 28,000 units in the United States that year, mostly to buyers seduced by Scandinavian style and tech until reliability issues popped up like unwelcome guests. Under the hood, a turbocharged engine delivers decent power but is paired with a transmission that sometimes acts like it's having a bad day. Reliability issues include electrical gremlins, software glitches, and pricey repairs that push annual maintenance near $900. Inside, the sleek minimalist design is gorgeous but often plagued by finicky tech that tests your patience. The XC90 tries to blend luxury and safety but often leaves owners with a pricey headache. Number 10, Jeep Grand Cherokee 2024. The SUV that thinks it's built for any adventure but often gets stuck on service transmission warnings instead. Starting around $40,000, it flexes a 3.6-liter V6 and an 8-speed auto, yet many owners find themselves stuck in gear or battling transmission glitches. A recall for transmission pinion gear issues doesn't exactly boost confidence either. With average repair costs hitting $744 a year, this beast demands a mechanic subscription more than your typical off-road thrills. The cabin's roomy and comfy, but buggy infotainment and climate controls remind you this ride isn't flawless. Grand Cherokee's towing and looks impressed, but don't be surprised if your wallet cries more than you do on rough trails. It's tough, but sometimes only tough to keep running. Tap that like button, because the next SUV looked great on paper until reality hit. Let's get back to the thrill. Number 11, Jeep Wrangler 2024. The off-road legend. It's basically a rolling headache with a fan club. It sold about 40,000 units last year, mostly to thrill seekers who don't mind shelling out for constant repairs. Consumer Reports slapped it on the worst that no one buys list faster than you can say clunky ride. Under the hood, the 285 HP V6 tries to roar but can't drown out the rattles, jerky transmissions, and suspension that feels like punishment. Reliability, frequent electrical gremlins, fuel system quirks, and pricey parts keep your mechanic busy. Expect $750 a year in maintenance bills. Inside, hard plastics and outdated tech kill the vibe fast. The Wrangler may conquer trails, but it also conquers your patience and your wallet. Number 12, Ford EcoSport 2021, the compact crossover that tries to be cute but ends up more like the awkward kid at the SUV party. It sold around 15,000 units in the United States, mostly to buyers who didn't realize they were settling. Consumer Reports quickly tossed it onto the worst that no one buys list, proving that small size doesn't mean small problems. Under the hood, a 123 HP engine struggles to move this clunky thing, paired with a transmission that's about as smooth as sandpaper. Reliability issues include frequent transmission failures, electrical glitches, and suspension problems that'll cost you around $600 a year to fix. Inside, cheap plastics and cramped space make the cabin feel like a budget motel room. The EcoSport aimed for urban charm but crashed hard into mediocrity and your repair bills. Number 13. Chevrolet Tahoe 2024. America's big, bold SUV that promises muscle but sometimes delivers more meh. Starting around $59,000 with a burly 5.3-liter V8. It's built to tow your dreams. Yet, buyers quickly find themselves battling transmission glitches and delayed shifts like it's an off-road obstacle course. Oh, and a recall for the transmission pinion gear doesn't exactly scream reliable. Annual repairs average $744, which feels like a hefty toll for such a beast. The cabin's roomy, sure, but infotainment hiccups and climate control tantrums make comfort feel overrated. The Tahoe tries hard to own the road, but it often feels like you're owning a ticket to the mechanic instead. Tahoe? More like take a hike and overpay, especially if you enjoy surprise repair bills ruining your road trips. Number 14, Mercedes-Benz GLC Class 2018. The fancy compact SUV that tries to flex luxury but sometimes trips over its own ego. Selling strong with around 50,000 units, it boasts a smooth 2-liter turbocharged engine, but don't be fooled. Reliability issues like premature brake wear and electrical glitches creep in early. The pricey maintenance, averaging about $1,200 annually, feels more like a subscription to surprise repairs monthly. Inside, it tries to pamper with plush leather and tech, but infotainment bugs and rattles remind you it's not all silk and roses. Buyers expect German precision, but often get unexpected trips to the dealership. The GLC aims for sophistication, but sometimes feels like a wallet-draining diva. GLC? More like good luck checking your bank account and patience. Number 15. Jaguar F-Pace 2018. The luxury SUV that looks fast, but sometimes feels more like a slow drain on your wallet. With just under 30,000 units sold in the United States, it offers a punchy 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder or a 3-liter V6, but reliability? Not its strong suit. Owners report issues like faulty electronics, suspension problems, and unexpected engine warning lights. Maintenance costs average around $1,000 annually, thanks to pricey repairs and finicky components. The interior tries to impress with plush materials, yet glitches in tech and cramped rear seats keep passengers guessing. The F-Pace's sporty looks and name might turn heads, but when your SUV doubles as a mechanic's favorite client, that charm quickly fades. It's a sleek ride, but don't be shocked if it spends more time in the shop than on the road. Number 16, Chevrolet Traverse 2018. The roomy family hauler that promises space but often delivers headaches. Selling over 100,000 units a year, it sports a 3.6-liter V6 with decent power, but don't get too excited. Transmission issues and engine stalling are frequent unwelcome guests. Reliability? Let's just say it's more Traverse through repair shops than smooth roads. Annual maintenance hovers around $700, but unexpected fixes can spike that fast. The interior is spacious, but cheap plastics and confusing infotainment can make you question your life choices. Buyers wanted a dependable SUV, but ended up with a wallet-emptying drama queen. Traverse? More like try your luck with repairs, especially if you enjoy surprise breakdowns and costly dealer visits, ruining your family trips. Number 17, GMC Acadia, 2016. The almost there midsize SUV that tries to balance style and function, but mostly balances on reliability issues. Selling roughly 70,000 units annually, it comes with a 3.6-liter V6 engine that sounds promising, but often suffers from transmission troubles and engine hesitations. Maintenance costs can creep up to $800 a year, thanks to frequent repairs and pricey part replacements. The interior tries hard with roomy seating and tech, but clunky infotainment and cheap materials make you wonder where your money went. Buyers hoped for a smooth ride, but got an uninvited mechanic subscription instead. Acadia? More like avoid care, unless you're into surprise trips to the shop, draining your bank account, and endless frustration with electronics that just don't cooperate. Number 18, Nissan Pathfinder, 2017. The SUV that tried to evolve, but somehow de-evolved. It sold over 80,000 units in the United States, mostly to folks thinking they scored a reliable family hauler. Instead, they got a masterclass in mechanical letdowns. Its 284 HP V6 isn't the issue, it's the CVT that whines, slips, and eventually taps out like it's had enough. Add in steering issues, AC failures, and mysterious warning lights, and suddenly that Pathfinder name feels ironic. Yearly maintenance creeps past $750, especially when you're replacing transmissions like socks. Inside, it's a sea of hard plastics and dated tech that aged faster than a flip phone. It wanted to be your road trip buddy, but turned into your roadside regular Pathfinder. More like Path left you there. Number 19, Chevrolet Equinox 2015. The compact SUV that tries to play it safe but ends up playing with your patience instead. With over 200,000 units sold, it boasts a 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine that's about as exciting as watching paint dry. Reliability issues like transmission failures and excessive oil consumption make it a regular guest at repair shops. Annual maintenance can hit $650, but unexpected repairs can spike costs fast. The interior offers decent space but feels cheap, with glitchy infotainment adding insult to injury. Buyers wanted a reliable daily driver, but got a headache wrapped in plastic instead. Equinox? More like equal trouble for your wallet insanity, especially if you enjoy surprise breakdowns and unplanned trips to the mechanic draining your hard-earned cash. Number 20, Buick Enclave, 2014. The SUV that whispered luxury but screamed repair bills. It sold over 60,000 units, luring families with promises of upscale comfort and quiet rides. Instead, they got a sluggish 288 HP V6, a transmission with commitment issues, and a laundry list of headaches. Timing chain failures, power steering leaks, and electrical chaos turned this premium crossover into a certified stress machine. Annual maintenance? Around $850, because apparently elegance comes with a mechanic on speed dial. Inside, it's faux luxury at best, with creaky plastics and infotainment that feels prehistoric. It tried to compete with luxury SUVs, but landed squarely in the land of false hopes. Buick called it the Enclave, but most owners just call it a bad decision. Number 21, Kia Sorento 2014. The midsize SUV that promised value and delivered valve problems. It sold over 100,000 units in the United States, catching attention with a sleek design and budget-friendly price tag. But under the hood, a 3.3-liter V6 that loves burning oil and a 2.4-liter engine with a taste for blowing head gaskets. Transmission jerks, engine seizures, and electrical glitches turn daily drives into daily gambles. Owners report average repair costs creeping toward $850 a year, because what's value without frequent service visits? The interior? Plain, with cheap materials that wear like tissue paper. It tried to sell itself as a smart, practical choice, but aged like a spoiled carton of milk. Sorento? More like Sorento because it feels like it was never meant to last. Number 22, Hyundai Santa Fe. 2013, the family SUV that promised reliability but often delivered surprise repair bills instead. Selling over 200,000 units in the United States, it comes with a 2.4-liter four-cylinder or a 3.3-liter V6 engine, neither known for thrilling performance. Common headaches include transmission failures and engine troubles, turning routine drives into unexpected pit stops. Annual maintenance costs hover around $600, but those sudden repairs can quickly add up. The interior offers decent space, but feels a bit outdated, with cheap materials reminding you of the bargain price. Buyers wanted a dependable ride, but often got an expensive gamble. Santa Fe might look like a safe choice, but it's more like a surprise party if your idea of a party involves mechanic visits and wallet hits. Number 23. Infiniti QX60 2013, the luxury SUV that flexed premium vibes but forgot to include dependability. With over 30,000 units sold in the United States, it promised elegance and comfort but delivered a CVT that clunks, whines, and eventually gives up like it's overworked and underpaid. The 3.5-liter V6 wasn't the issue, it's everything around it. Leaky radiators, faulty brake actuators, cheap plastic bits, and enough electrical hiccups to light up a Christmas tree. Annual maintenance dances around $850, mostly thanks to that finicky transmission and pricey parts that scream luxury with a side of stress. The interior, plush on day one, worn and glitchy by year 3. It wanted to rival Lexus, but tripped over its own badge. QX60, more like quick exit at 60K miles and counting. Number 24, Mazda CX-9 2011, the sporty SUV that tried to do it all, but ended up doing a little too much wrong. Selling over 50,000 units in the United States, it lured buyers with sleek styling and 3-row seating, but under the hood, the 273 HP V6 often overheats and burns oil, like it's going out of style. Transmission issues, suspension creaks, and electrical glitches turn maintenance into a headache, averaging nearly $900 a year. The cabin, stylish at first glance, but cheap plastics and rattles crash the luxury party fast. It wanted to be a fun family ride, but often felt like a pricey project car. Reliability takes a nosedive once you hit 100K miles, making patience and a thick wallet mandatory. CX-9, more like C, why not? Because patience is a must if you're driving one. Number 25, Ford Edge 2012, the SUV that tried to blend style and muscle, but mostly just blended headaches. Over 60,000 units sold in the United States, tempting buyers with a 285 HP V6 and slick looks. But under the surface lurks a host of issues. Transmission slips, engine stalling, and electrical glitches keep mechanics busy and owners frustrated. The maintenance bill, around $850 a year, thanks to frequent repairs that shouldn't be part of the package. Inside, the cabin feels outdated fast, with cheap plastics and tech that lags behind competitors. It aimed to be your reliable daily driver, but ended up as a pricey gamble. The Ford Edge promised adventure, but mostly delivered detours to the shop. Edge? More like edged out by reliability. Number 26, Acura MDX 2010, the luxury SUV that tries to play big but often feels like it's running on fumes. Selling over 40,000 units in the United States, it flaunts a 3.7-liter V6 with decent power. But the real drama starts with transmission failures, oil leaks, and suspension clunks popping up sooner than expected. Annual maintenance? Expect to shell out close to $900, mostly for fixing problems that shouldn't happen in a premium ride. The interior tries hard with leather and tech, but gets let down by glitchy infotainment and worn-out trim. It wanted to be the ultimate family hauler, but often left owners wishing for a mechanic's number on speed dial. MDX? More like might drive Xanadu, if you're lucky and prepared for surprises. Number 27, Dodge Journey 2010, the SUV that promised versatility but delivered a masterclass in disappointment. Selling over 70,000 units in the United States, it caught eyes with its roomy interior and budget price, but under the hood, the 2.4-liter four-cylinder and 3.7-liter V6 are notorious for stalling, overheating, and transmission woes. Electrical gremlins and suspension squeaks make every ride a gamble. Maintenance costs hover around $800 a year, thanks to constant repairs that drain your wallet faster than gas. The interior, cheap plastics and awkward design make comfort a joke. It aimed to be the family-friendly workhorse, but ended up as the automotive equivalent of a bad roommate. Journey? More like a journey into regret and endless repair bills. In the world of SUVs, true greatness comes down to one thing: lasting power. These 27 didn't make the cut, but they highlight what real engineering should look like. Dependable, durable, and built to go the distance. Which SUV surprised you most? Or do you have a favorite that never lets you down? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more auto content that celebrates vehicles built to last and separates the legends from the letdowns.